Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today we're going to be looking at a very special collection, Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson's Manhunter, published on gorgeous Baxter paper in 1984. This reprint edition collects the stories that were originally presented in the mid-1970s Detective Comics as a backup feature to the Batman main story. And we have a gorgeous cover from Walt Simonson, the series artist, and we're going to dive right in because this is just an amazing artifact and I love sharing it on here with you folks. So we have on our front piece, Archie Goodwin writer, Walt Simonson artist, Claus Janson colorist, Roger Slipher editor. We've got a great opening here which it goes on for 2 pages of small 8-point font type, so I'm not going to read it all. But I do want to give you an idea of what Archie Goodwin says in this intro. So we'll read the first paragraph. How about that? The Manhunter series, represented here, began in Detective Comics 437 and concluded after 7 issues in Detective 443, covering a period from approximately July 1973 to August of 1974. Not a particularly long run for a comic book as comic book features go, surpassing Brother Power the Geek, but falling short, if memory serves, of It, the Living Colossus. Unlike those 2 characters, Manhunter never carried an entire book himself, and appearing only in 8-page adventures that ran as backups to the lead character, Batman. This only changed in Manhunter's final appearance when he co-starred with Batman in a full-length 20-page story. All of this seems to be the stuff of serviceable obscurity. Instead, I think it combined to make Manhunter reasonably unique. And so he goes on to tell the story of how he got the idea to do Manhunter to begin with, and how he was able to recruit a young Walt Simonson who was very new in the business at that time and only done a few projects so far to go along with him on this. And the synergy between them, as we're going to see as these pages unfold, is nothing short of astounding. I'll read the last paragraph here. Writers and artists tend to be a little uneasy about having their old work come back to confront them, even if it's considered among their best. I don't think Walt or I have any such qualms about Manhunter. Mostly, it's just good to see him again under such pleasant circumstances. So pretty great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read each part as it was published. So each part will be a discrete episode of our show. So it's only going to be 7-8 pages, but I think there'll be nice little digestible bites as we go and explore this rather beefy Baxter paper collection of the Manhunter stories, the original Manhunter stories. He stalks the world's most dangerous game, Manhunter. Nepal, in the shadow of the Himalayas, lies its capital, Kathmandu. Here, at the city's great northern gate, where in older, simpler times caravans arrived from Tibet, sits Hajj the Ancient. Day by day, year after year, he is here, collecting sight and sound, tale and rumor, as some might rare coins or stamps. Those who would know of another's passing through the city come sooner, later, to Hajj. So on this day comes Christine St. Clair of Interpol to ask of one called Manhunter? An unusual name, Mem Sahib, heard with increasing frequency as events of the past 2 weeks become known. Law agencies all over the world have a growing interest in this man, Hajj. Whatever you can tell us will not go unappreciated. Then I shall humbly strive to cooperate. How he came to Kathmandu, no one can say. He merely appeared in the Alley of Shadows, a place unknown to tourists, avoided by locals, even police, for it is the sanctuary of the cult of thieves, and they hold their privacy dear. You trespass, infidel, and neither mask nor strange raiment will win you welcome. I prefer no trouble. But I want who fled to Nepal but I want one who fled to Nepal from a neighboring nation and for a time found protection here. Our protection is given to few, infidel, and once given, honor to the death. Slay him. Kathmandu's master of thieves and his bodyguards are famed and feared, as each is a specialist in killing, each supreme in his specialty. Look at this amazing panel arrangement here. Already Walt Simonson is crushing this with the dynamism and the way he can tell a story. Until the visit of the one called Manhunter. I said I'd prefer no trouble. Your master, your friends didn't listen. Perhaps you will tell me where the man I seek has gone. Grabs him by the scruff of the neck here. Haj, this man is called Paul Kirk. Could he have been the stranger in the Alley of Shadows? Surely, Mem Sahib. That is a question for the cult of thieves. Yet, this Paul Kirk appears similar to another I have heard about. One who came to a Sherpa village in the Himalayan foothills several days after the fight in the alley, and shouted out to the Sherpas in their huts. Someone from this village guided a certain man from Kathmandu into the mountains, to the Pendrang monastery. I seek that man. We've been warned of such seekers and how to deal with them. Yet, when they rushed forth to dispatch this interloper, gone. Indeed, gone, and after search failed to turn up the stranger or his tracks, a rider was sent hurrying into the mountains. Great shot here and great storytelling device. In this last panel, we can see the binoculars of presumably the manhunter watching the rider. So he flushes out the path to his quarry. Certainly, no stranger on his own could find the home of the Pendrang monks in its hidden valley deep in the Himalayas. To bring warning to the monastery, Kirk probably staged the entire scene so he could follow that rider. Perhaps, Mum Sahib St. Clair, I bow to Interpol's knowledge of such matters. Protected by formidable surrounding peaks, by walls massive as any fortress, and by 3 defenders to whom the faintest sound, the slightest movement cannot escape, whose very will directs their shafts, the legendary blind Zen archers of Pendrang. Totally awesome. Again, just showing the prowess of these incredible blind archers here. Love these skinny panels and then turning horizontal and then skinny again, vertical again. And certainly the rider did not reach his destination. He returned to his village, tied upon his horse, unconscious, the slightest of bruises near a particularly sensitive nerve at the neck's base. And that night, a visitor came to the Pendrang monastery, uninvited. And we get some just brilliant wordless storytelling here as Manhunter uses a simple trick here with these firecrackers to distract the archers and then take them out. Gorgeous. The attack was well conceived, executed with swiftness and devastating economy. But these were the archers of Pendrang. To best one was a rare victory, 2 a miraculous feat, and 3 an impossibility. So he's drawn a bead on Manhunter here. Meantime, in those dark hours, a man sat in the courtyard garden, meditating, awaiting the dawn. A man raised in the monastery as a youth. A man who'd gone forth to wander among people, high and low, thieves to princess. A man who touched many in his wanderings. A man who had now returned to this former home for sanctuary. Dharmata, finally I've caught up with you. But at the cost of your life, it would seem. No, it only cost the monastery the services of 3 good men for several days to come. I die a little less easily than most men, Dharmata. But why does one so blessed pursue me? Because you, in your way, are a dangerous man. You almost roused the nation bordering Nepal to revolution. I was merely the voice of a people's discontent with a tyrant. A disturbing voice, an idealistic voice, a voice that makes waves that might pound even India or China if your followers should try their revolution again. There are some who think it best if a calmer voice replaced the tyrant. And you. And so, these some have sent you after me. If that is my fate, so be it. But see, the dawn breaks. The monks come from morning meditation. It is a moment I greatly responded to as a youth. Allow me that moment one last time. No, Dharmata, I'm afraid I can't. It has been said since, in that moment, a storm seemed to break, a storm of violence and death, and that the eye of that storm was the one called Manhunter. These men, they are not monks. They are ones sent to slay me, but their faces, each looks exactly like you. I understand none of this. What is your part? And there was the sudden rustle of a tree branch and only falling blossoms. To show Manhunter had even been there at all, Memsahib St. Clair. I must know more, Haj. Who sent those assassins? And Manhunter, what happened to him? Is he still in Nepal, in India? I cannot tell, Memsahib. Such a man is like the breeze in the hottest summer. It comes, it goes. Who can say where or when it will next appear? Very well, Haj. If you learn anything else, contact me, care of Interpol. The end. Totally awesome ending here with Haj turning out to be Paul Kark Manhunter himself. And we have a mystery to solve here as those who were really trying to kill Dharmata were actually seemingly doubles or copies of Paul Kark Manhunter. So we've got some interesting stuff to delve into in our next visit to this amazing collection. I hope you enjoyed this brief first foray into this awesome Baxter paper reprint of Manhunter by Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson. If you did, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.